everybody. Welcome to my studio. And today I'm going to show you how to make this adorable card. And I'm excited as always. Let's get started. Hey everybody. Let's start making this card. Can't wait. I'm excited. All right, so this is our card. All right. And I think we're going to stick with pop dots again. And so I went ahead and pulled in some pop dots. And then for glue, I'm using this Barely Art Precision Craft glue. It comes with a nice metal tip, and I just stick a pin in there just to keep it from drying out in between use, which you'll see it's a really fine tip. All right, we got all our pieces here. So let's get started. Let's scooch these over. And the first thing we're gonna do is fold our main card. I don't know if you're like me, sometimes I put it on the wrong side. Oops. So anyway, all right, fold it out. This is gonna be my front. This is what I've decided, and we will work on the front first. Why not? And first I'm gonna do is like lay out our pieces here just to kind of get a looky. I'm gonna do the frames first just because it helps to have it in here and then it looks already centered. And if you have some scraggly things, depending on how your cutter is acting that day, mine's being argumentative, you can just go ahead and trim some of that off. And all I'll do is put a little glue around the edge of these. And if you're not super confident in your gluing skills, hey, you can do this in another little area and then bring it over here. Go ahead and kind of line it up where you think. And now at this point, so what I do is I'll just push from one side here over, kind of making my way around. And what that does is it helps to keep from any of those bubbles and bowing. At least that's what I find anyway. So I try to do that. And then let's put on the second frame. And honestly, this dries. When it dries, it's like super solid, so it's not gonna come apart. But what I like about this glue, and you could use a craft glue stick too. I have one some around here somewhere. But you know, they both let you, it stays wet long enough for you to like move things around if you want to. All right, that's in there, that's in place. And I'm gonna scoop my mom out of the way here. We're taking some letters with us as we go. So I'm gonna move them back for a second. But I will use, if I can pick it up, yeah, this little stem area to kind of take a look. And actually we'll do this first because this is the back side of the bow. And there's a way that these go. I think you can, yeah, if you go the wrong direction, you can see through it there. And so make sure you're gonna glue the correct sides together. So we'll go here. And actually I'm gonna glue the black portion because we don't need glue all over the pink area because it'll poke through some of these holes, and less mess the better. Alright, so now I just said, but I don't remember, so let me go this way. If you're not sure, you can kind of look this way. Okay. And then what we'll do is you can line it up to the top side. Mostly I'm just making sure these holes here are all covered. I see pink everywhere, and you see it from the back side. And then I'm just squeezing it together. And we'll set it aside here. But before I do that, I want to kind of put it here. I want my greenery to be just a little bit underneath it. So we can use this to lay this out, I suppose. And just to kind of take a look to see where we want things. This poor bugger. I forgot to take a looky before I got started here and throw some of those fuzzies away. I think we're gonna line her up right about here. I think that's good. All right, so I'll just move this aside for a second. We're gonna go ahead and glue down this green leaf stems here because it's so tiny, right? You know, I don't have a pop dot that small. I don't I'm not gonna cut a pop dot that small. Okay, let's get her down. So I'm gonna try to do kind of like right in the center. Rub the extra glue off. There's no real need to like push it around too much. And one second, get my little tissues here, get the glue off of me. And next, I'll go ahead. I'm gonna pop dot this. So I'm gonna wait for 1 second. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the letters on the hearts right now. You can do it before or after, because we're gonna pop dot this down. You can do it before or after, but just because it's a flat surface, if you do it beforehand, you might as well. Right? Oh, sorry, I don't know if my hands are out of the picture there. Hopefully not. And all we're gonna do is make a mess with some glue. Hey, being creative is rarely clean. Alright, so get rid of that little bit of glue there, sticky there for a minute. The O is gonna go here. Now the fun part is like, so this cut out this heart, and so you can keep that little heart. You don't have to throw it away, you know, and use it later. Use it for something else, or we can use it here later too. We'll see what we decide. And let's glue our little O in place. O for mom. And one thing, like, you know, my fingers are kind of in the way when I'm putting the glue there. If you give it a little kind of spin, a little left and right, you know, you're kind of setting it in place. So, you know, missing that tiny bit of glue is not going to make any difference whatsoever. It's still going to stay in place. All right, mom. Kind of center that up best you can. Give it a little squeeze. All right, and we're gonna let that dry for a whole second here, and we'll work on the bow while that's drying. And so I have these larger pop dots. As you can see, I've got leftovers where I didn't need them quite so large, so I cut them, but I'm keeping that because I can use that for some other project later. Waste not, want not, right? Alright, so let's get the pop dots on here. Oops. Trying to come off ahead of time. It's all good. I'm going to do just this many because this will give it enough structure. It'll keep it from bowing in on itself. Look over here. I'm sorry if I'm out of the picture there. Peeling off the tapes. And then what I want to do is cover the greenery up with the bow a little bit. So you kind of like look at this area right here and just line that up and then just stick it down. And I like it coming up and over the frame, and if you don't, you can always push it upward. It's totally up to you. And actually in this instance, we're gonna pop dot these hearts too. So let's go ahead and put some pop dots on here. These other ones are for the inside. We'll get to that in just a second. So just peel off your tape and stick it in place. And actually this one's kind of hanging over a little bit. You know, I'll do that before I just go ahead and give that a little trim. No worries. Hey, it's all good. I like keeping the most amount of the pop dot on I can. You know, if it was a smaller piece, I might use a smaller one, but you know, this gives it more structure and sticks it up more. So there you go. That is our front. And awesome. So we're gonna work on the inside now. Let's go on the inside. Now the good side thing is we're not gonna be working on this side here, so this is just gonna sit and rest, and it's just fine. Now we're gonna do the larger piece down first. So you have a large and a small. The small will go over the large one. That was the same for the front as well. Sorry, I got some little scragglies here that are just bugging me. So fixing it live. All right. There we go. We're gonna glue the frame down. So big frame, then little frame on top. So big frame, then little frame. So I'm gonna do a big frame here. Kind of eyeball it, center it up before you push it down. And then as you see how it was like kind of bowed a little bit, but as you make your way around, it flattens itself out really well. So versus like if you went like that, you know, you might have bows on either end, and you know, if your glue dries fast on you, yeah, it might be, you might have to scrap it. You never know. All right, let's let's do this piece here. And just kind of lining that up from the inside. Again, we're gonna push down the sides, come across. Awesome. And now we have our always. And one thing I do like to do with this one is, all my fuzzies from all that clipping, is kind of eyeball it, right? I kind of want mine to hang over a little bit, but I don't know how far. Let's see, pink cut out pretty good, but this one has it's got a roughie. In general, I'm actually usually just touching the edge and kind of just getting that little bit. Things happen, you never know. All right, so we're gonna use pop dots here as well, but what I wanna do first is glue this pink one in here, kind of similar to what we did with the front, right? And so let's do glue the bow side, because again, you know, it's got some holes here. It's not gonna be sticking out everywhere. And what I'll do is I'll set it on initially. Should put too much glue on the back there. And I just want to cover these holes here. And that's it. I don't want to cover really anything else. I want to rub this extra glue. Got a little extra on the back that I needed. Let me set it over here for a second. Oh, and I always keep this too. Like, if this gets all gummed up, go ahead and just give it a wipe. I think we're going to be using pop dots, so we are good there. Oh, I take that back. You know what I want to do? I want to glue this down, because this is, I mean, it's intricate and it could be a little frail there. I want to make sure that it doesn't break off. If it was, you know, and again, pop dots aren't this small generally, so it's another way to make sure that it stays structurally sound. And I'm just going to do a few dots in here. And I know I'm going to hold this up against it. It'll take a moment to dry anyway. This is kind of the layout of what I want. And where I want it is about right here. So I'm going to go ahead and stick it down that way and then tap it down. Just, you know, you don't need a lot of pressure. You definitely don't need to push it. And I'm just kind of getting a little bit of that extra glue off. Looks good there. And again, we didn't glue this down, so we're going to do pop dots here. Make me think. Yeah, we'll stick with the same size pop dots. And I probably should have put a pop dot on here first. So put your pop dot on first, just in case. I'm not going to set it down yet. What I'm going to do is actually put the other pop dot on here. Get this one ready. And I'm going to slip these up together and then just kind of lay it down that way. Awesome. Cool, there you go. Now you have a little heart here. Where should we put it? Should we put it somewhere on here? Oh, why not? How about right there? What's one more heart? You know, hey, it came out of the thing, why not? There we go. Little happy accidents, I love that. All right, and there you go. We have our card. Isn't that sweet? I think your mom will love it. Enjoy. I hope you enjoyed making this card with me today. And like, subscribe, pound, do all those things. If you need to pick up this design in my shop, you can go to sarahproutydesigns.etsy.com. And thanks for watching.